Hey guys, it's Roxanne from RoxanneLynch.com. Hey, how's it going, you guys? So, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about today what happens if you think that you know that your boss hates your MLM, that your coworkers don't like it, that you're a network marketer. What do you do? You know? Because there is a lot of women out there, myself included in the past, that was working a full-time job and building a network marketing business at the same time. So what do you do when there are people that have that crab in the bucket mentality and they're thinking, if I'm not making it out of here, sister, neither are you. And so we have to remember that sometimes the people that are our friends are not necessarily our cheerleaders. Okay, so let's talk about this today. So whether you're part of my amazing team so within social retail or your own beloved business out there, I know in my heart that there is enough success and sunshine out there for all of us, and that's what this is about. So can you imagine getting like the wind, the whispers going like, hey, I heard this in the coffee room and there's some girls and they're not thrilled that you have a network marketing thing. And, they saw that post the other day and, that's it's just bad. It's just really, really bad. Okay. Can you imagine your coworkers coming up to you and having these kind of conversations? And it's like you start getting worried, like, what is my boss, does my boss know about this? Who else is talking about this, right? Because you're in that deer in the headlights thing, because just because you're not paying Candy Crush on your phone and you're doing something different on your work break, there are people that are unhappy. Okay, so let's talk about this. Okay, so first of all, I can speak honestly because I actually had a full-time job and I told my boss that I was considering joining a network marketing company. And he says, Roxanne, is this going to impact your work? And I said, no, Bill, it's not going to impact my work. I said, some people, walk on their lunch breaks. Some people play video games on their lunch breaks. Some people go read a book in their car on their lunch breaks. What people do, on their lunch breaks or on their coffee breaks, if it's not impacting their work. Last time I understood with the freedom of speech and the freedom of being able to do what we want to do when we want to do it up here in Canada and in a lot of other countries in the world, we're allowed to do that as long as we're not impacting and we're not obviously soliciting other business people that are coming into or building relationships and bridging to conversations with intent to prospect them. I mean, that is different. Obviously, there's privacy, there's confidentiality, there's, things that we sign upon employment that we're not going to, cross recruit. Even within a larger corporation, I'm talking about corporate and management and you having a network marketing business and then prospecting them with intent. That is a little bit unclassy, right? So we have to be classy and we have to be proactive. So once I had told Bill that I wanted to have a network marketing business, and he says, why? Because I was making really good money in my corporate job, but I didn't have much community. Okay, can you guys understand that? Sometimes within our jobs, we don't have a lot of sisterhood. We don't have a lot of atta-girl. We don't have a lot of recognition. We don't have a lot of appreciation. We have a really good paying job, but we want that sisterhood. We want that brotherhood. Mash those emojis if that makes some sense to you guys. Would you guys definitely agree with that one? So let's talk about what we can do. What we can do once we've heard this gossip in our ears. What we can do if we are truly concerned about our jobs being at risk because you have a network marketing company, just because of the gossipers. And like I said at the beginning, some people that are your friends are not your cheerleaders, okay? So the very first thing is we can tidy up settings, okay? So that would be the very first thing that you could do is tidy up your settings and go against the norm. And the norm would be if we are professional network marketers and we're building a business on social media, we need to have our profile open. We need to be sharing all of us, okay? Public. So strangers can come and see who you are, who you're about, and kind of get to know your vibe. what you're about, and then either decide they're going to follow you or send you a friend request, or, just quietly watch you. The thing is if you have a bunch of nasty people in your world, like my girl did tonight, she said we're going to change her settings to private for now, okay? Till the waters kind of cool down, till the kettle stops boiling, that's what we're going to do. And same thing is with her business page. We're going to make sure that her business page is still public. We're not going to archive it for now, but we're going to be doing some additional things. So change your settings to private and be very attentive to when you're on your phone. Now, most of the time, if you're at a job, people are on and off their phones all the time, and no one turns a sideways eyes. But if she's got some naysayers in her world, and they're thinking that she's always talking about her business and prospecting and blah, 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 and they're looking at her, she could be playing Candy Crush. They're playing Candy Crush, they're playing, Scrabble, they're playing their word games, but you've got to be really attentive when you're on your phone, which means work breaks only, okay? If you have to, run to the bathroom, okay? Didn't hear that from me, by the way, okay? But workplace breaks only, to be visibly on your phone if you're truly concerned about your employment with your job and your coworkers are harassing you and even your boss is giving you the evil eye, okay? So, and how you can expedite that if we're thinking about this, and you guys can definitely, if you guys have ideas, pop them into the chat. Let's network, let's connect, let's collaborate and share more good ideas, okay? So plan your work. So we know if our time is our most precious commodity, we shouldn't be spending a lot of time on Facebook just scrolling away anyway, right? So be proactive. Plan your morning post or your evening post or what your Facebook stories are going to be prior to you going to work. So it's first coffee break, I've already done my first story of the day, now I'm going to do my second story of the day, and I'm going to post my post that I prepared last night. Send it to me in notes. Okay, send it to yourself in notes, send it to yourself in Messenger or in Facebook, however it works. So you can just pop it up there and you still have time to have your cup of coffee, you still have time to chit chat around the workplace. Get that populated and done. Same thing at lunchtime. Do another Facebook story, spend some time in Messenger, make some new friends, connect, have conversations, all those kind of fun things that we normally do. Same thing for next coffee break, another Facebook story, and then you get home and then you can do your evening live or whatever post you're going to do. You see how you've structured that? You've structured it around your boss and your coworkers, not looking at you sideways. So you're just being proactive. Instead of being reactive and scrambling, take some ownership of what you can do when you can do it, and that'll make a big difference. Plus, you're going to save yourself a lot of time, okay? So the next thing is that Facebook groups. If we've now set your profile as private during this time of fire going on, you've got a fire going on at your workplace and people are looking at you funny. Now more than ever is when you need to expand your friendship circle importantly. And I've talked about this immensely. You guys can head to my YouTube channel and you guys know how imperative it is that you're growing your network, your circle every single day. But now you're going to expedite it, because if your settings are private and people that are just wandering around the internet can't find you because you're private, you need to increase your circle with purpose and intent. So expand your circle. Okay, the tip here, the trick is within Facebook groups, we have this wonderful ability to say hello, okay, to do an introduction post. This is when you can actually pop those bubbles and use pain and trial and tribulations and struggles to connect. And what I told her to do is on her intro saying hey, if you come over to my page and come to say hello, you're going to see that my settings are private. It's because there's a whole bunch of coworkers that are really grumpy, that have crab in the bucket mentality, and they're thinking if they can't get out, then neither can I. So, I'm under the gun. So I really can't be working my business much at work. But send me a friend request or send me a private message. I'm happy to connect. Because my boss and my coworkers are crabby that I have a network marketing business, okay? And I don't want to play Candy Crush with them anymore in the coffee room. So The last tip that I gave her, because that Facebook group and the introductions, that's going to get a lot of activity and attention and engagement and conversation, because there's probably other women out there just like her. So that means she's going to have great conversations about how wonderful it is for her to be able to leverage their 1, 2, 3 step groups that we use. Is like a 1, 2, 3 step prospecting and follow-up system that we use within social retail, or popping her prospects into 3-way chats. She's not having to actively build her business while she's at work, because she has people like me helping her out. Okay, she has people like our Facebook groups that are going to help do the prospecting for her. This whole community of thousands of people that, she can just relax and get her job done, and her boss and her coworkers aren't looking at her funny. So I said, this is an amazing way to build your business, because other women are in the same situation as you. Okay, last tip. This one's dicey. Okay, this one I would not suggest everyone to do, because it takes a certain type of woman. It takes a certain type of personality. It takes a certain amount of wittiness, is what I'm going to tell you, to do this. Okay. She might, and I told her this, I said, if you think you can pull this off, I would go find the biggest gossiper friend you have at your work. Okay? Find your biggest gossiper and have that conversation with them. Say like, oh my gosh, like Susie at the coffee girl at the coffee machine, someone just told me that like people are looking at me funny because I have a network marketing business. People are looking at me funny because I was just wanting a little bit of fun. People are looking at me funny, because of these things going on. Pop the bubble, okay? I'm not saying play dumb. I'm not saying play silly. I'm saying, like the forest fires, people up here and many areas of the United States, if we have a forest fire, we'll actually light what they call a backfire. So we light the fire, so when the real fire hits it, it doesn't have anywhere to go, because we've already burned all this material up. We've already built trenches. We've already pre-built some trees. We bulldoze them down. We build this wide bank. So when that fire draft comes in, we put out the fire. That's what you are doing by going to your biggest gossiper and saying like, oh my gosh, they were saying this. It's like, why would someone think that I'm being naughty at work? Like I'm not playing Candy Crush in my lunch breaks anymore, but hey, I went out to the park and I recorded a video so I could post it after work when I get home, because I'm so busy chasing the kids and making supper, or, hey, I was just working, instead of me doing this and playing Scrabble, now I'm doing this on my coffee break. And it's like, why would people be upset if I'm trying to better myself? You see them talking about sisters. Did you get that, brother? So anyway, so be classy, be proactive, take some control of where you can take control. And remember that there are people out there that just because that they're your friends doesn't mean that they're your cheerleaders and they're wanting you to be successful, because they have that crab in the bucket mentality. The last tip, I promise, you just might have to unfriend some of your coworkers. Okay, if they're not in it for your success, if they're not in it for you, then they're not happy for you, they're not joyous for you, then why are you friends? If they're not here to help, encourage and empower and enlighten and support women within business trying to do their family situations better. Does that make some sense, you guys? So you just might have to cut loose some of them stray ones, because they weren't on your side of the fence anyway. Okay, they were shooting arrows at you every time that you turned around. Because I understand that there's people out there that aren't happy if we're happy. They're just people out there that our happiness disturbs them. Our sunshine spoils their day. So the world makes all kinds, and it's okay. We just have to release them. They're not your people. Okay, they're not your people. It's okay. So anyway, those are my ideas for tonight. I'm a little wired up. So thanks for the laughter, you guys. And if you guys did get some goodness, by all means, you know that you're welcome to ask me questions about social retail. I get really squeamish under pressure. I would never do that to you, but I can talk joy and sunshine, support, empowerment, encouragement, especially with the right tips and training and support that we need to have our successes in this amazing industry. And after 2 years of saying never again, I said yes to social retail. I'm probably going to put that video right down below, and you guys can check it out. You know, it might be your cup of tea. It might stir some interest. Ask questions. We only got one life to live, and let's live it happily, joyfully, and successfully. Okay? But night, guys. See you tomorrow on the sunny side of life.